What's going on, Royal Alliance, and welcome to the first Battlefield 1 related video on this channel. Let me know down in the comment section straight away if you want to see more Battlefield 1 videos or any other video games videos that you like to play or would like to watch. So this video is to help you out with your multiplayer skills when you first start playing Battlefield 1, because Battlefield 1's multiplayer can be a huge challenge to newcomers to the game. So first of all, we have a new class for the Battlefield series, which is the Assault class, and this Assault class is classed as the new revamped Engineer class. It is similar to the Engineer class from past Battlefield games, meaning it is capable of equipping a variety of anti-vehicle weapons such as rocket launchers, dynamite and mines. If you're looking to take down tanks, push the front line and cause heavy damage against the opposing team, Assault is the class to use, and it's also an ideal class for beginners or anyone who has came from shooters like Call of Duty, because it is sort of the main submachine gun type weapon in this Battlefield 1 game. The second tip is to use the Scout's flare gun, but when you do use it, you have to make sure to fire it in a sort of upward arc. The flare gun is a great way to spot enemies in the environment, as long as the flare lands in the general area of the player. When using it, you have to be sure to fire the flare in an upward arc, which expands its area of coverage and increases the time it takes for it to fall down. The flare gun can also light soldiers on fire if you hit them directly with a shot, which is quite hilarious to do. I've done it once or twice. Tip number 3 is to use a pretty clever, sort of cheaty, newbie medic tactic. If you play as the medic class, you can drop health packs to keep your teammates and you alive. However, this support ability can also be used to execute a clever trap. I say clever because it is clever for you, because you're the one who's doing the trap and it's going to help you out, but if you're up against this trap, then it's going to be really irritating and will probably get you very angry. So the trick is to lay down health packs in an area of cover. Then all you have to do is wait for nearby enemies to start firing at you. Once you've caught the attention of a few enemies, keep a firm offensive until you start to get low on health. Once you take too much damage, make sure to take cover and patch your wounds quickly. This will lure out enemies that you have damaged, because they want the kill. They think you're weak and you're sort of cowering in a corner, so they're going to challenge you and try and get an easy kill. You can use this as an opportunity to pop out with full health and take them out. Keep doing this over and over again until the enemy starts catching onto what you're doing, and then they'll probably just wait for you to stick your head out and snipe you and then ruin your life, to be honest. Tip number 4 is that support weapons are more accurate the longer they're fired. Support class machine guns have what's called negative spread, which means they start firing their most inaccurate shots first before reaching maximum accuracy. If you play support, which is the sort of heavy LMG type weapons for Battlefield 1, it's best to start firing your machine gun in long spreads, ideally while you're prone with a bipod deployed. This can also be a handy way to clear a path for your teammates, as you can simply sit still and let loose a hail of increasingly accurate gunfire as your teammates charge towards the objectives and then probably get destroyed by a tank. Tip number 5 is to spend your war bonds wisely. As you level up in Battlefield 1, you'll earn war bonds, which are used to unlock weapons, gadgets and vehicles. You don't get a whole lot of war bonds early on, so it's essential that you prioritize spending them to unlock items for the classes you play the most with. Don't waste the currency on unlocks for niche classes like the tanker and pilot, which you're likely not going to be using as much as the game's 4 main classes. Tip number 6 is removing your bayonet actually increases the ADS speed, but you have to be careful with it. It is possible to take the bayonet off your rifle, which allows you to aim down sights faster from a sprint. However, taking it off doesn't affect accuracy, so it's better to equip it for the sake of having a melee contingency if you run out of ammo and the enemy shows up. However, if it's not an attack you rely on, the bayonet may hinder your reaction time. If you decide to use the bayonet, it's worth noting that a quick charge can kill an elite class soldier in one hit, as well as take down an armoured soldier easily, as long as the attack is directed at their rear. Tip number 7 is to not freak out over soldiers who are on horseback. When a soldier is on horseback and is charging at you with a sword in tow, it's quite easy to panic and wildly shoot at them or try and run away, and then you've turned your back and you get sliced open. But if you find yourself in this situation, be sure to focus your fire on the soldier, not at the horse. Soldiers have less health points than horses, even those who are armoured. If you can't fire enough shots in time, go prone to dodge the saber swings, but you might get trampled on. That's happened to me quite a few times, so be careful of that as well. Tip number 8 is don't wait and keep firing your mortars. When you launch a mortar, a cinematic animation plays out where you see it land on the position you indicated. Once the animation finishes, you return to the mortar's third-person aiming mode. It is possible to keep launching mortars from the cinematic perspective by continually pressing the fire button. It's also possible to shift the trajectory from this perspective as well, but you won't be able to see the actual display arc. This is a handy trick that allows you to keep firing without having to return to the mortar's third-person aiming mode, losing your situational awareness. Tip number 9 is weapons and vehicles do actually have variants. Battlefield 1 doesn't have as many weapons as past games in the series, however, what the game lacks in weapons, it makes up for in the number of variants available for each weapon. Each offers different characteristics. For instance, a weapon can have variants with larger ammo capacity, full auto firing, or even enhanced hip fire accuracy. You are encouraged to experiment with each one to find out what best suits your playstyle. It is worth noting again that tanks and planes also sport variants. Each has different weapon loadout options which you can actually choose from. Tip number 10 is cavalry class support. While riding around on horseback and swiping enemies with a sword seems to be the core appeal of the cavalry class, there's a lot more to it than just the sword. One of its special abilities is to throw ammo and health packs to allies, which does make it a valuable resource to any team when used properly. Also, the cavalry class sports a strong arsenal of weapons and higher health points than regular infantry. Tip number 11 is you can change the aim down sight zoom level on weapons. If you select the cog icon next to your weapon to customize it, you'll see an option that allows you to adjust it. Battlefield 1 also has a ADS FOV, field of view option, which allows you to apply your chosen FOV value to weapons when aiming down sights, meaning you'll maintain wider peripheral vision and enemies won't appear larger. Tip number 12 is look out for medics in the death screen. When the enemy downs you, you're faced with the death screen's countdown timer. As you wait for the timer to finish, we recommend keeping an eye on the flagged medic locations that appear in the bottom left corner of the screen. It's always possible to enter the deployment screen after dying. It's a better use of your time to see if a medic might come to your aid. If you have any useful beginning tips for Battlefield 1, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below to let everybody know about them. Don't just keep them to yourself. Smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with Battlefield 1 and Star Wars Battlefront. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, and I do hope you enjoy this Battlefield series.